Good morning, welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. Now firstly, apologies to you. I am up late a little bit this morning, so my notes is what I've got on my notepad. Normally, I've got a separate screen ready. But today, we will be covering the first, these topics. It's snowing! Brilliant! Yesterday's vote, we have a quick update on the Mini Sky Hunter. There is a new vote in the Facebook group, which we'll take a look at in a moment. We've got some new videos and some new episodes coming out for you. We'll be taking a look at those. And some fresh foam for the slaughter. So those of you which are on the live chat, if you can let me know that we can hear us nice and clearly. Thank you, Henry. I really do appreciate that. So, yeah, literally, I got up 10 minutes ago. Crazy times this morning. Apologies, Saturday is the only day which I don't have an alarm which is set to go off. Yesterday was a busy day, and I didn't go to bed till like 11 o'clock last night, which for me is really, really late, believe it or not. So topic number one is that it's raining. Let me move that out of the way and hope, fingers crossed, that the computer's been updated. Hopefully it has. It's thinking about it in the background. I tell you what, while that's thinking about that, let's nip straight across to Shout Out Corner. So let's pop that one up there. So good morning, Turbo Tyler. Good morning, Simon. Good morning, First Protocol. Good morning, Henry. Good morning, Wolfgang. Good morning, Olan. Good morning, Sylvian. Good morning, Kev. Good morning, Sick. Good morning. Good morning. I'm late for very important dates. Oh, and good morning, Joe, as well. Apologies I missed you out there. So if you are in the chat, apologies if I've not seen you just yet. Like I said, I am running a little bit late myself this morning. So look, I've got photographic evidence that it is actually snowing out there. But unfortunately, in the run, which I had to go back to get my fresh cuppa for this morning, is that it's been in turn to rain. So no idea if we're going to be flying today. I am at the point where I'm sick of work, sick of coding, and I really do fancy chucking a model around. So let's hope that either turns into real snow, because I haven't flown in snow yet. I think that's going to be fantastic. Or if it does turn to rain, that it does go away, so that we can go out and fly some models today. I really am looking forward to flying. I just can't wait. I've reached my limit of what I can do mentally this week. Next, we need to take a look at yesterday's vote. So yesterday's vote was the choice between Chris's, Chris's Radjet and Brian's. It wasn't an EF Extra. It was actually one of the original EFXs. Because I think Stuart when I went back and watched it, Stuart had noticed that the wingtips had wingtips, because the EF Extra has got clipped wingtips. So apologies for labelling that one incorrect. And your vote was probably one of the closest votes which we've had. There's one in it. Chris's Radjet won by one vote. Unbelievable. I didn't think it was going to be that close at all. So well done, Chris. You won the vote yesterday. Absolutely crazy. That is like the closest of votes which I've seen to date. So well done, Chris. You are the winner, sir. So that actually brings us on to my next topic, which is the Mini Sky Hunter. So I do chip away at like a couple of models at the same time. And yesterday you'll see, I've got a photograph on this here. We do put these glass fiber little plates underneath the wings, which I think is a really good idea, because those wings are super thin back there on that cord. And I've used some epoxy, and I think I've put enough clamps on there to hold it still. So this morning that should be dry. That would also be the side where I was supposed to have run the servo lead up the boom and out this side and across, which Matt didn't work out until he put all the clamps on it and then thought, oh, I wonder if that's the side where I'm supposed to run the servo lead up from the elevator servo. And would chances would have it, it was. So, yeah, oops-a-daisy. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll just tape it up or something. We'll do something up here underneath the wing, or maybe even run it up the opposite boom instead. So oops-a-daisy, but we're chipping away at it. Now, one thing which you may not spot is that down here on the receiver, you'll see that I made a little wiring loom, and that's an X8R receiver. So what I've done, that's going into S-Bus, but you may be wondering, Matt, what's this extra white wire for, and why is it so long? This extra white wire is going into the RSSI input, but on the X8R, the RSSI input is also on the same side of the receiver as the S-Bus. However, on the L9R, is that the RSSI input is on the opposite side here, which on the X8R is the smart port. So what I've done, I've run that lead out a little bit longer, so it does fit right round to meet the other point, the other input over there. So when I'm using the X8R, which we know is good for about 2.4 kilometers, is that receiver will be fine for the interim. And then when I finally get around to getting some more L9Rs, is that I'll be able to take that receiver out and then take it round, and then I'll be able to get the RSSI input from that side. And of course, we use the RSSI input into the Eagle Tree Vector. Let's have a quick look who else has turned up in the chat. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, First Protocol. Good morning, Stu. Good morning, Kev. And I think I think that's covered everybody in the live chat this morning. Right. That was the Mini Sky Hunter, so she is progressing, and that's generally my approach to most models, is that I'll chip away at them over a period of days. And again, the EF Extra here, I've done exactly the same. It wasn't until last night when I finally got round to putting the control horns on for the servos for the ailerons. I've put the lid on the top of the FPV mount, and today at some point I'll do the wiring for the FPV camera, and then put a balance lead connector down there for a 4S battery on the bottom. So that's just me. I just chip away at little things, and then that's how it just kind of like adds up to a big thing, if that makes sense. Is that if you do lots of little things, and then before you know it, you've got a whole new collection of models ready to go, and it's, whoa, Maiden Day. Oh, talking of Maiden Day, and I didn't write this in my notes this morning, is that, remember the FMS Edge 540, that absolutely beautiful model? I've actually finally got around to editing the maiden video for her. So I'm about halfway through the editing of it right now, and wow, what a absolutely beautiful model, and I will get that edited up and published as soon as I can, which now leads us on to the next topic for this morning, which is there are some new episodes waiting to go out. Now, those of you in the Facebook group, you've probably already seen these, and the reason why you've probably already seen these is because with episodes like these, is that I will always publish them, or do my best to always publish them in the Facebook group first. So if you have a shameless plug for the Facebook group, if you haven't joined up yet, underneath this video, in about 20 minutes after this finishing, there'll be a link to the Facebook group. Click on that, press the join button in the top right hand corner, and you'll be able to join. One of us will pick up your request. So the first one is, well, I found it by accident actually, which was the FX Phantom FX61. There was just a little cloud, beautiful little poof. So yeah, that's the first one. It's only a very quick one, and it's just me darting in and out of a little cloud. Very cute little cloud, and I really did enjoy that. The next episode, which we've got coming out sometime this week, so it may be tomorrow or maybe later next week, is the Hobby King Reactor Maiden. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant little model. That was probably about the best flight which I had with her, so far, to be honest. And also one thing which I learned when I realised when I went back and I was editing the video is, before then I was using 1.3 3S batteries, whereas in that one I was using an 850 and it flew absolutely brilliant with the 850, and putting the bigger battery packs on it, it's not that responsive compared to what we can see in there. Also note that is actually a really old episode now. That video was recorded back on the 7th of January, so it is like a month old now. But on the bright side, that I've had a month extra of flying 3D, and it was nice to go back personally for me to go back and watch how my flying skills were then to what they are compared to now. So yeah, I kind of enjoyed that on a personal level, that one. Next episode, which we've got coming out shortly, is a Bandit on my 6. So me and Dave went out for a fly around, and then we've got Dave with his multi-star. No, yeah, is it no, multiplex twin star? Sorry, I can't remember which model it was. The multiplex twin star. You've got him chasing me in the background, which you may be only just be able to make out there. And the other episode which we've got coming out shortly is some raw footage. This was Andrew's very, very first FPV flight. Obviously, Andrew is a very experienced pilot, and he did just take to it like a duck to water. So that raw footage really is just for Andrew specifically. If you want to join in and see what someone's first FPV flight was like, take a few minutes to go and watch Andrew's FPV flight. And I was genuinely surprised on how well he picked it up. And literally by his third flight, he was flying around on his own models, and then he had several models with landing gear, and then he was coming in and landing as well. He was doing a really, really good job. Once he'd worked out that he needed to get a little bit closer, is that, yeah, he's done absolutely brilliantly. Absolutely brilliant. Let's have a quick look. Kev says we need another time-lapse Mel episode. I still remember that day when I had the M20 sat here next to me, and I left it in time-lapse mode because we'd gone slope soaring the day before, and I just went back and was like, oh, damn it. So I published it anyway with an extra bit of voiceover for it. So let me quickly go through. Vote yesterday's mini Sky Hunter. There is a new vote in the Facebook group this morning. It's to do with an Edge 540, which I'd spotted turn up, and yeah, it looks kind of nice. Now, just to be completely clear, it does come in about $69 after I apply some points to it, or about 55 quid. And that's the one which I was eyeing up. Now, I've put that in the Facebook group. Ironically, I've just clicked on the link and I've paid no attention to what your votes were. So it did look kind of cool. It does look kind of cool. The one thing which got me interested in this one, which I know it's another Edge 540, but come on, how long do you think it's actually going to last me anyway? But if you have a look, you've got a plywood subframe in there, which is the part which got my attention, because the other one which I've got here is using an EPP subframe. And yes, while it does have carbon fibre strips down either side, this one does look a little bit more sturdier. So let's go back to the vote and see what's going on. All right, maybe we won't be getting that one. The community has spoken. We have 16 nays to 6 yays. All right, there we go. I have been told. So we won't be getting that one. If you are interested in it, I'll get round to updating and putting a link in the video description for you. The other one is the last topic for this. Oh no, the last but one topic for this morning is that we have fresh foam for the slaughter. Now, I don't know if any of you remember seeing this one on the one of the previous episodes which we did. And this little thing turned up, I think, what was it, $19, $18, something like that, off Banggood. Let's get her out. And we do have fresh foam for the slaughter. Now, I've already been in here. And I saw somebody else got one of these as well, and I'm sure they would have worked it out too, but just in case, is that the one which I quickly worked out is that on the rudder fin, is that you want to cut out the hole a little bit more so the elevator can actually move up and down, and the rudder can actually move left and right without it getting caught up every 2 seconds. But it's a little biplane. I'm quite impressed. Let me just quickly stuff this together. We'll stick some little micro servos in there. You're going to have to excuse me. It's going to be a bit crude. But it's supposed to be a biplane. There we go. It's not very big. But I think it's got promise. I'm really looking forward to sticking this one together. Again, tiny little motor up on the front, a little HK 1612 motor with a 50-30 prop. The accessories which come with it are pretty good. I was genuinely surprised. The little pack, look at all the little goodies we get in there. We even get some little lead weights on the front as well to make sure we hit CG. And the manual's not too bad either. So I'm actually quite surprised on the quality of the components. And of course, to be brutally honest, I've got no idea how long it's going to last. And you may be wondering, Matt, why are you mucking around with a tiny little bit of foam like this? Well, surely that's not really rag the nuts material. But to be honest, is what I'm looking for is stuff which I can fly at home. And this was super cheap. I know that I got a spare motor to go on the front. I know I've got little micro servos. And all I'm going to use is hot glue, stuff a receiver and stuff a battery in there, and I think we could be away. It's got promise. I don't know how long it's going to last. Maybe we should stick a vote up in the Facebook group on how long you think it's going to last. Crazy. Oh yeah, and it'll be my first biplane, so chances are it won't last very long at all. Yes, sick, it will be a yellow Baron for it. Just keeping an eye on the chat. And good morning, Peter, as well. And that now brings us on to the last topic for today's RC Coffee Chat. And I did manage to just squeeze this one in here. Now, there is a vote which goes along with the picture, which is about to appear on your screen. And remember, you can vote in the top right-hand corner. So let's go to the nuts were ragged section. So this is Martin's Sky Surfer. Look at the state of that, and I'd like to second Martin's statement of landed, because that is a landing. Now there is a vote which goes along with Martin's landing up there. You can make that vote in the top right hand corner of your screen. If you hover your mouse on top of the screen, there is a little vote which goes along with Martin's very, very impressive landing. And you can you can place your vote today, and in tomorrow's RC Coffee Chat we will go back and see which option won. Oh, I don't know, Olin. A bit of hot glue, that might go back together again. Come on, we've all seen the state of the AXNs in the Facebook group, and you could probably fill an AXN with cement and it would still fly afterwards. Crazy stuff. Yeah, sick. It probably lost a fight with a cement mixer, and it may have been a vertical landing. And maybe I should have asked added in an extra option in there. Will it live again? Into the vote. Who knows? Brilliant. So it's time for me to wrap up. Let me just quickly cover the topics which we had today. And I will apologise for being late this morning. Normally I'm a little bit more organised, but honestly, for 10 minutes notice, I think I've done pretty good. If you think I've done pretty good for 10 minutes notice, do me a favour, hit the thumbs up button underneath this episode. So with that said, it is snowing in here in the United Kingdom of snowiness. I've got photographic evidence. I will go out there in a minute and see if it's actually turned into snow or if it's been turned into rain, which is probably most likely because it is the United Kingdom of wetness here most of the time. Yesterday, we had a look at yesterday's vote. I was honestly surprised that it was so close. One vote separated Chris's Radjet to Brian's EFX Racer. I need to get that right because it wasn't the EFX Extra. Let's spit my words out. We had an update on the Mini Sky Hunter. That one is progressing slowly but surely. It's not a complex build by any stretch of the imagination. It's just got a few bits which just need to be left overnight, like the epoxy for the glue, for example. We have a new vote in the Facebook group, which I do believe that most of you have probably already been voted on that one. If you got any comments on that one, please do let me know on that one in the Facebook group. Obviously, the community has spoken, and it does look like a nay for that one. We have a collection of new episodes on their way out very, very shortly. Let me just quickly recap. We have the Phantom FX61 with a little puff. We have the Hobby King Reactor Maiden. We have the FX61, the Bandit on my 6. So that's Dave behind me with the multiplex Twin Star. Let's see if I get that right. And the other one which we've got coming out shortly is Andrew's first FPV flight. He really did take to it like a duck to water. And also remember, I do have the FMS Edge 540, the model which GearBest sent me for review. Absolutely beautiful model. And we have her first 2 flights. I'll get those both into one episode for you. And that will be out shortly. I will say by the end of, well, in a couple of days tops, in short. We have some fresh foam for the Slaughter. It's kind of cute. It is kind of cute. They have actually even been made space for the ailerons on the side, but I don't exactly know where you're supposed to put servos for the ailerons, so I may or may not add ailerons later. It kind of depends how well the Maiden goes, to be honest. Jeez. A packet. Sick. This is what you get when you join a conversation late. Which is 6. Sorry, not enough carnage. Needs more fire and brimstone. Packet with petrol, Hollywood style. Jeez. And Kevin's coming with it's only a flesh wound. It's true. So on that note, thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit more organised for you. And if you are out flying today, and I'm just taking pause for a quick slurp, please do chuck a battery in for me. I've got a funny feeling it is going to go and turn to rain out there. I really do need to escape my office because I have had a horrific couple of days of coding and my brain is fried. So hopefully, fingers crossed, legs crossed, something else crossed, it will cheer up here and we will be able to go out and get some flight time today. Well, you'll find out tomorrow morning. And on that note, from myself, Matt, if this is your first time here, it is kind of like this sometimes, unfortunately. If you've enjoyed today's RC Coffee Chat, there is a subscribe button underneath this video. If you've enjoyed it, press the thumbs up. If you've got any comments or suggestions, you can let me know underneath this episode, especially if you're watching the recorded version rather than the live version. And I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's been enjoying me here this morning. And I'll quickly, Kevin, Joe, Lauren, Henry, Peter, Sick, Wolfgang, Kevin, First Protocol, Stu, Sylvian, Wolfgang, First Protocol, Olin, and Simon. And of course, Turbo Tyler. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. I'm going to wrap this one up early. Like I said, if you are out flying today, have an absolute fantastic time. Go and rag some nuts. So on that note, for myself, Matt, and his moderately warm cup of coffee, cheerios!